Welcome to Android App Addicts, episode number 45, the show where apps come on in and we welcome them with open arms. Actually, when I start off these shows, I don't plan anything I say. I make it up that second, and that's why it fails utterly sometimes. Let me introduce the host of the show, and we'll get started here. Starting off with the Door-to-Door Geek, Steve McLaughlin from LinuxForTheRestOfUs.com and DoorToDoorGeek.com. What's up, Door?
Same old, same old. Happy to be wearing a headset mic again.
Happy to be wearing a headset mic.
I don't know. I didn't know what to say.
You mean you're happy to be in a podcast right now?
Yes.
Okay.
With cool guys that really have a passion, I'll say.
Oh, wow. For what?
Well, you're passionate about your beloved device.
My beloved device.
Your beloved device, and we have other people who are very passionate about their devices.
Okay.
And I'm passionate about trying to stop dropping my device.
Oh, man. I hope you didn't drop it again.
Dude.
We will get to that. I want to hear about that. Also joining us, Tim Kelly from timscomputerfix.com. Hey, Tim.
Hey, Steve. Hey, Steve. And I can't stand having this headset on my head. But I'm glad to be on the show.
Glad to have you here.
Yep.
As usual. Oh, also joining us, Eric Ardini from siliconwrench.com. What's up, Eric?
I'm just glad to have headsets on my head, be on podcasts, and learning the fine art of being a lumberjack.
What?
Yeah, I had to chop up a tree that somebody cut behind my house and it fell in my yard the other day. So I had to buy a chainsaw. Never really got into it before, but it's cool.
That's pretty awesome. I thought you were a kid. I thought that was like a Monty Python joke at first, and until I realized you were serious.
No, I don't like to pick wildflowers and put on women's clothing and hang around the bars.
Good one. Also joining us, Sean Johnson, who is SJGeek89 on Twitter. What's up, Sean?
What's going on, guys? Glad to be back.
Glad to have you back as well. Full house today. I love it. Got the Brady Bunch effect going on. Every time I say Brady Bunch effect, I wonder if any kids out there go, the Brady what?
Probably.
Do people not know about that anymore? The youngins?
How about Hollywood Squares? We could be like that too.
Yeah, that would be about the same. I think we get the same reaction.
They've at least had Brady Bunch movies with hot chicks in them.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point. Okay, yeah. So I think Brady Bunch tops Hollywood Squares. And we're definitely not going to go for the $25,000 pyramid.
No.
All right, folks.
Maybe just call it Big Brother.
Let's start with Sean this week. Sean, what do you got for us?
Okay, couple weeks ago, somebody had sent an email about a audiobook player. And so it got me thinking that when I listen to my audiobooks, I usually use just a built-in music player. And I thought, maybe I'll try to look for something. So I searched around. I got some free ones. They were kind of garbage. So I came across one. It's called Akimbo. It's a paid app, and there is a free version, but it's only kind of like a trial. But it's only $250 for this app, and it's nice because it'll download covers for your books if you don't have covers for them. If you just rip them and put them on your phone, it'll also make bookmarks. You can make manual bookmarks. It'll remember where you last left off if you turn it off. And it has a nice little locking feature. So if you're putting it in your pocket, you're not hitting anything, so you can hit the lock, but you can still control your volume, and you don't have to worry about bumping it. And it's got quite a few features in it. It's got, if you want to just skip to a different chapter, you don't have to, put your finger on and do that. What is it? Fast scrubbing, I think it's called, or, I think you can do that, but there's a button you can hit and that actually picks either you can do a timestamp or next chapter on it. And it also by default comes with a timer on it, which to me was kind of annoying because you have to shake your phone to tell it, okay, I'm still listening. I'm not asleep. So you can turn that off. You can set the timer to an hour or at the end of the chapter. So it's actually a really customizable application. So I don't remember who it was that asked about it, but it got me thinking, when I'm not listening to a podnutz show and I am going to listen to an audiobook, I like it to stream real nicely, and it's a good app if you're into audiobooks.
Yeah, I'm showing screenshots of it now. It looks great. It's totally customizable.
Looks very
Yeah.
impressive. My question is do you need some kind of special audio format type for this to work? Do you know?
I think it does like just regular MP3s. I think it'll do AAC.
Wow.
I'm not really.
That's
I'm not really sure. I think it does a few different ones. And also, I do remember. I don't remember what it was called, but the person that wrote on the email wanted to know about speeding it up. And there's another application that'll work with it, and I can't remember what it's called. But it helps you because I don't think you can actually speed it up with this audiobook player. And if I think of it,
Is it the same app that speeds up the dog catcher, Presto?
I think it is. And I
believe
apologize for not knowing that.
Cool.
So it is you are able to speed it up if you want to listen to, a chipmunk read a book, then.
That's
Yep.
cool.
Well, wait a minute.
Sometimes we need
Don't these speed up ones? Don't they keep the same
Pitch.
pitch these days? Or
Oh,
no?
do they?
I think they attempt to.
That's coming up in a minute or two. But also, just real quick, if you are a fan of podcast format, but you want books, there's a great site I keep hearing about from a couple people called Podio Books, PODIOBOOKS. It's serialized books. They literally, I don't want to say they release them as a podcast, but you can subscribe to a book in a podcast format where you get them in
Pieces?
episodes, kind of thing.
And they're real
they're
books.
books.
They're like legitimate, published books, or these are like stories people have made up that aren't published.
I will say I do believe some professional authors have released things on here, but this is not like Audible.
Gotcha.
I will say that. And because 90% of everything up here, 99% of everything I see is free.
Aha.
So, yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, and you can donate money back, and they actually give it. If you donate, they actually give money back to the authors.
And they should. Sean, anything else on Akimbo?
No, that's it. Just if you do enjoy audiobooks, check it out. I mean, it's $2.50, but I did try some free applications, and sometimes you have to cough up a little cash if you want a good application. So I'd recommend it. I like it. It's pretty good.
It looks good here.
Yeah,
Good
that's a
app,
damn
man.
good find.
Very good app.
All right, Eric, what do you got for us?
My first app tonight is a response to, I think it might have been Timster had the geocaching app a couple weeks back. And I've been doing the geocaching thing for about a year. In fact, we've got one planted about 2 blocks away from our house where
All
people
right.
from all over come by and check it out. Was that you, Tim, who brought that up?
That was actually me on my first show.
Oh,
Right.
okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I just wanted to bring up the free program that I use. It's called C::Geo. Let me post this link in here, and it is it's the only one I've ever used since I started with an Android. I did used to do it off of my BlackBerry, kind of, but actually my GPS unit for geocaching is older, so I used to have to print out the things that I would find off the internet with the locations and latitude and longitude, and then type them in manually. Now this speeds it up quite a bit because it takes that out of it. It doesn't. My GPS unit for geocaching isn't smart enough to receive anything from an Android, but this app, I like it because it's really simple. It's free. It's got live
So
maps that'll
what's
show
the-
all the ones around you. You hit nearby caches, and once you find one or can't find one, you can log it right then, and it goes up to your geocaching.com account.
Right. So explain to everybody real quick for those that are new to this, exactly what is geocaching and what's the idea of it?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I should have explained that
No,
first.
that's okay. No.
Geocaches, the fun ones are like an old military ammo box full of like trinkets and junk. And someone will take it and they'll hide it like next to a tree and cover it up with a couple sticks and stuff. And then they'll post the latitude and longitude on the internet on geocaching.com or geocaching.org. I'm not sure which one it is. So then people will go there, type that into their little handheld GPS units. You can use your phone too. I've noticed, I don't know, at least my Samsung Galaxy X is not nearly as sensitive as the GPS units made for it. But you'll go out, you'll type these in there, and it'll take you to the spot, and it'll get you within about 2 or 3 yards of it. So then you start walking around and looking a little bit, and then you find it, and you always have, you take something out of it, and then you leave something, and there's usually a logbook that you sign in there, and then you go back. It's like a big treasure hunt, kind of.
Yeah, that's what it's like. It's like finding treasure. I think that's cool.
Yeah, the kids really like doing it almost as much as fishing, I think. And they go from big ones like that all the way to small little ones that are just like the size of maybe half a pill bottle. That all there is just a rolled up little piece of paper, and you sign your name. No trinkets.
Like an Altoids box or something.
Yeah. Yep.
This is a cool looking app. Again, this one looks pretty thorough.
It's almost as fun as chasing and catching ghosts.
And we know all about
Eric,
that.
Yeah.
So on that, let's say you if you're out of cell range, and obviously you don't have any Wi-Fi. Does it have the app or the maps on there, or can you download the maps so that you can use just your GPS? Because I ran into the one that I had recommended, the $10 one. When I went camping last month, I had them all saved, to when I got there. Well, I had no cell service in the mountains, so I couldn't use it because the maps weren't loading.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been out of cell service range before with it. I mean, everywhere I've been with it, it's worked fine. I'm not sure though.
Right.
I know that it saves. You can store the caches, the location ones, but I honestly don't use the maps too much on there. I'll use it maybe if I gotta find a road to drive to get close to it. But then, like I said, once I drive to around it, I'll use my other GPS unit, which doesn't have any maps on it at all. It's just kind of,
telling you which way to head and
how many feet north, basically, or forward or left and stuff. But I found rings in there, and people put some pretty neat stuff in there.
Oh yeah, you find it's a definitely good time. I'm gonna check that one out too.
People should put like iPhones and stuff like that, like real valuable treasures around.
One of the last ones I found really freaked me out because I was going to put it back, and there was some sort of talking toy in there that kept mumbling something at me. And I thought somebody was yelling at me from behind a bush or something. I didn't know. It took me a while. I was kind of actually shaking because I didn't know where it was coming from.
That is
I realized
freaky.
It was a toy in there.
Nice.
Especially like if you go unearth something or whatever, however you find them, and if something starts screaming at you. That's freaky.
That's almost as scary as the time I got dropped off in the woods in the middle of the night and tried to use my freaking night vision app.
We remember that, Tim. We remember that.
Oh, yes, I do.
Anything else, Eric, on the geocaching app?
No. If anybody's never tried geocaching, even if you don't have the other GPS unit, if you've got an Android phone, go for it, man. There's probably one fairly close to wherever you're living.
And what's the other one? Just the actual official geocaching app, or is it this CGO and a bunch of other ones? I mean,
yeah, there is an official one. I think it's the one that he brought up before that was paid for, and this one's CGO by Carnero.
Okay.
I've never used anything, but it works good for me.
Very cool, awesome. All right, Dor, hit us up.
Okay, following up last week, Cody Cooper, Presto. Whatever it's called, Presto. I just got to say, Lee first embedded the idea in my mind. He was on weeks ago about the speeding up of the podcast and the tempo doesn't change and that kind of thing. The pitch doesn't change. And Cody basically convinced me. I literally bought it, I think, as the show was still on last week. I'm not going to lie. I got to just make my comments on it. I can't comprehend how I listened to podcast before I had it.
That good,
because, well, here's a couple of the gimmicks behind it. It does work on MP3 and OGG files. So if you listen to alternate format media files, it seems like it works just as good, if not better. I find listening to some podcasts now, I am truly better at picking up what they're talking about, how they're talking about stuff, what they mean by stuff. And I heard a while back, I can't remember who it was, they said the reason humans